Hello YouTube. So I've been told by a few people I need to do a video on my 2018 mower setup. So I want to do just an overview of my setup real quick, and we're going to go from there. So mine is pretty much just a bare bones setup, but with this setup I'm able to get quite a few pretty good properties and keep them maintained without very little difficulty. It's also a peculiar setup because most people, when they're pulling a trailer with a mowing setup, you might see them going down the road with a truck or similar vehicle, but on mine I am using my car. I added the trailer hitch and the wiring setup for my car to pull my trailer. This is a tilt trailer that I'm using. Honestly, the weight for this trailer is perfectly balanced with the type of hitch that I'm using. I'm not supposed to use more than 200 pounds at any time to the tongue, but with this type of setup, my weight, even with the deck being as far forward as it is, the majority of the weight sits right on the axle, so there's minimal weight on the tongue. I can easily pick up the front of the tongue with one hand, so really all I'm doing is towing all the weight that's on the trailer. So it's a pretty good advantage. A lot of bigger vehicles out there, of course, use bigger fuel mileage. So with my car, I'm getting anywhere from 24 to 26 miles per gallon using my car to get me from point A to B to C, so on and so forth. So for me, that is a huge bonus in cutting back on my overhead for my mowing setup. So jump right in on the equipment that I have on my trailer. First, we'll start off. Now, this is the first year that I've had this mower, but as you can tell by looking at it, it's a little on the rougher side. This is a Skag 36-inch Advantage walk behind commercial mower. It has the 16 horsepower Kawasaki engine on it. It is an awesome little engine, tough engine, really strong too. I couldn't be more than happy with the engine that's on this thing. So my powertrain to the mower, this is a belt drive mower. There are levers up on the back of the mower that control my right and left. I will say that's not traditionally how this mower looks on the back. Typically you'll have a little bit more sticking out as far as handles. The person that I had bought the mower from had modified the handles for whatever reason. I don't know if they started to break or what happened. I wasn't really going to ask too many questions. This mower typically used will go for around $1,200, and I was able to pick it up for $500. So the handles were really not that much of a concern. Actually, with the sulky that I am using, this is just my mower sulky, a one-wheeled sulky. So in using the sulky, the handles actually work rather well for the setup. It surprisingly gives me what I feel a little bit more maneuverability and personal stability while I'm on the sulky and using the mower. So back to the powertrain, it is a belt drive, and the different gears that are on the mower. So it does have a reverse, neutral, and then first through fifth gear. In the back is my transmission. This powers the pulleys on both sides of the mower. You may see also that I have a chute block on the mower. It came with the mower, so another bonus on the mower. And that's pretty much it for the mower. It is in some rough shape as far as paint and everything goes. A few scratches here and there, maybe a little bit of fade, and then the handles. But as far as a functional machine, you couldn't ask for better. This mower is truly an awesome mower, and it more than gets the job done. I will add real quick too on the back side. See if I can get my camera down there to where you can see. It has a homemade striping kit on it that was added to the mower, and it does look a little rough, but the striping job that it does is phenomenal. It lays down some beautiful, beautiful stripes, so I couldn't be happier with it. And my little Murray push mower. This has a Briggs & Stratton 148cc mower on it. This is actually the 8th or 9th season that I've used this mower. I mainly use it for getting into areas where it might be just a little bit too much to weed eat and where I can't get my mower. Sometimes on corners or behind a deck or something like that. So that's pretty much the job that it serves. But just real cheap, pretty much throwaway lawnmower. And just carry it around with me for those cases where I might need it. And up here, my trimmer. As you can tell, I've got two different colors on the shaft. I'd be thinking to yourself, what's that all about? Well, this is the earlier version of the Ryobi Expanded. So the older models, some of you may or may not remember, some of the older models had the yellow shaft on the model, and it wasn't until in the last couple of years on the Ryobi Expanded, the newer models, they started coming out with the black shaft. So the trimmer portion, the motor and the main body of the trimmer itself, this is actually the I want to say 6th season that I've used this trimmer. The only reason I had to change out the bottom shaft is I actually wore through the bump head on my old one, and it's easier by the time it's all said and done just to go to the store and buy the entire shaft with a bump head included, and almost just as cheap to do it that way than try to find the bump head itself. So the bump head that I have, it has the speed load capability on the bottom. You put the string in and you put the tool on the bottom, and it makes for winding the string so much easier. I love it. Since it is the Expanded, I'm able to put on attachments. So this is my edging attachment for the Ryobi Expanded. Works really good for edging on sidewalks, cleaning out cracks, just pretty much, you know, the normal things that I would use an edger for. And this is another view of the mower sulky. And for my blower, last but not least, this is probably the newest tool that I have in my mowing arsenal. This is the Ryobi with jet fan technology 2-cycle blower. This is, as far as a handheld blower, this is a beastly little blower. I'm more than happy with it. It's done a fantastic job. So for my string, I've been using the Steel brand weed eater string. I'm pretty happy with it. I will say it's just as good when compared to some other brands, but I've been a big fan of this string for a very long time and just continue to use it. Other than that, you know, I mean, I guess you could say it's just more or less my preference. And then of course I've got my gas cans up front. So as you can see, it's not a very intricate setup. Again, more or less just bare bones. But I would almost call this a starter setup. No brand new equipment other than, of course, my blower. My trimmer, you know, of course I bought it new. It's used now, well beyond use. Same with the small push mower. But I'm just more or less showing this to you guys, just, you know, to show that you don't need a whole lot to start up a mowing company. Really, you can start it up with just about anything. It's not always all about the tools that you have or how clean and shiny they are. It's how good of a worker you are and how willing you are to get out there and do a job as a professional. So just really keep that in mind. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. If you like and enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and stay tuned for the next video.